Old man here, and this office behind me was renovated a while back. That renovation in pictures is coming right up. What we have here are the original doors that led into what used to be the laundry room before the laundry room was relocated down into the basement. It then became a storage area, which has now been renovated into the office you saw at the opening clip. So let's take a look at what else has been added to this room before you enter it. These are a couple of my prized possessions for this room. I picked these two solid wood French doors up on Facebook Marketplace, and the opening I needed was 24 inches for each door, so 48 inches. However, they were advertised on Facebook as 30-inch doors. So what I would have had to have done is cut these doors down on the end. But I definitely wanted these doors because they were only on Facebook Marketplace for like $350 or something like that. Now, if you know anything about solid wood doors, they are quite expensive. And just to get solid wood French doors, for that matter, you're looking at probably $800 to $1,000 just to purchase those. So when I got these, it had this, looked like it had all this stain and paint on it on the windows. And once I got them home and started taking a closer look, it wasn't actually the paint. What it was film that was on the windows to protect it. So all I had to do was peel the plastic off of the glass, and then it exposed this beautiful glass framed door that had just been sitting in someone's garage. So this was absolutely fantastic. The other piece about these doors is that the color that you see on the doors currently, they match the rest of the built-in shelving that I have in the living room. So it's just an absolute perfect match. And then finally to close this out, I was getting ready to saw these, and I said, you know what, let's measure twice and cut once, right? When I measured them, they were actually 24 inches each, not the 30 inches that, or 26 inches or whatever it was, that was originally advertised. So I didn't have to do anything at all to these doors to cut them down. So we ended up leaving the original door stops, which are at the bottom of these doors. You can't see them in the picture, but I got new hardware and new stops for the top, and once you see the finished product, they look absolutely fantastic. So we'll show you that here in a little bit. This is what the inside of the space looked before it was renovated to what you saw in the opening clip. I've taken out the shelves, as you can see by those lines that are on the back wall there, and it's got this mustard colored paint that was on there. I guess it really didn't matter what color the walls were because they were just using for storage. It's got a nice window in it, and you can't see it now, but the light at the top is just a regular dome light. Nothing special there. Actually, I don't even think it was a dome light. I think it's just a regular couple of bulbs sitting there. And that's all that was in this room. There's a switch for the light to come on to the left on that left wall. And this is where we were going to go ahead and renovate. So let's show you that here right quick. Since this room is going to be used for my work and home computer space, I needed a space to put multiple monitors on. And because this is such a small room, there's really not a lot of room for a shelf to put monitors on or a table. So what I decided to do is get some wall mounts, and the plan is to wall mount multiple monitors to the wall. In this case, I'm using 6 monitors, 3 for my work and 3 for home. And I have a laptop for both home and work, and they're hooked through a docking station that will accept multiple monitors, in this case 3 each. So what I'm doing here is I've taken the sheetrock off so I can put support 2x4s in that will support the monitors where they need to be. So it took a lot of measurement on where these were going to be situated. I had to determine how big the monitors were going to be, how they were going to be angled in the space, etc., etc. And that's what we ended up doing here. And again, the next photo here shows the insulation coming out. This is all blown in insulation, so it's packed in there really nice. I do not like working with insulation. I've said that before on previous projects at the old house, but it's here. It does work good, but it's very messy, and then you have to pack it all back in. So that's what's going on here. But let's show you the next clip here, and then you'll see how that's all coming together. This is just more of an example of the blown insulation inside of the walls. You can see on the right hand side there I've cleared some of that insulation out in preparation for putting in some horizontal 2x4s to support the brackets that I'm going to be putting in here at a later time here. And then the next step here is just to put some drywall up and then start patching the holes in the seams where all of that is. So let's move on to that one. You can see here that I've added some drywall over the studs that I put in. If you look at the left there, I've added some blocking, and you can see it in the top right hand corner of this photo where the support for the brackets are going to go that are going to hold up the monitors. That went in very nicely. I then went ahead and packed in the blown in insulation back into those cavities, and I put the drywall up first, and then we started packing that in through the gaps that were left there, and we're just proceeding as normal. You can also see the light switch there that we had to cut out for. And then in this photo we are showing the top piece that I added on to finish out the drywall in this room. And now it's just a matter of adding the joint compound and the taping so we can sand it down and then get the paint up. Here you can see where I started taping and then adding joint compound to the seams. And I've also filled in several of the holes that were left over from the previous room that it was. And then on the back wall you can see that I filled in some cracks and holes that were in the drywall that were starting to appear. So we kind of filled those in to level out the wall right there. And then you can also see some of my writing on the drywall. That's just to indicate where the studs are that are going to support the monitor mounts. And you can see those going all the way down to the end there on the wall. And then in this photo you see that the room is sanded down and ready to accept paint. So you can see all of the holes that I filled in on the back wall, similar to the previous photo, and we just leveled that out, and it worked out pretty well. You can see the outlets there are going to be perfect height for the table that's going to be going in here in the next series, and it just turned out really well. So this room actually turns out perfect. If you look at this photo, you see I've got a light, of course, at the top. I've got the window, a window view that I can use, and then I actually have AC in this room also. If you look at the floor duct that is at the right on the bottom of the picture. So all in all, it's a small space, but it does work, and that's where we stand on this. So with that, we are going to close this series out and call it a night, and we'll see you at the next series. So until next time, peace out.